Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the AI Learning Lab. Name's Kyle Shannon. I'll lead the adventure this evening. This is my second live today. And just had some ribs and did a little yard work, hooked up the hose. Because it's been raining so much here in Denver, we haven't had to water anything. So it's all watered now. Looks like the next week's going to be sun. So we'll see. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Feel free to share the live and hit the like screen. Let people know we're here. Make them believe like you're enjoying this. And then we can fool them. We'll get them in here and then, and then we'll extract cash from them like we do every night, right? God, man, I'm fucking rolling in the dough from these lives. You have no idea. Oh my God, it's fantastic. I think I'm up to 3.4 cents an hour. So at this rate, if I had a nickel for every hour, I'd be getting a raise. Anyway, this is the AI Learning Lab. We'll wait for some more folks to come in. Looks like the algorithm. There he is. Hey, Silver Fox, what's happening? Congratulations on building a thing for a someone with your restaurant knowledge. That's really exciting. That's really flippin' exciting. And I put this in the comments, but I think it's the right move. I think starting with service is a good way to go, because all of this stuff is going to change so fast that if you spend too much time building something, you're going to build something that's obsolete in 3 months, and then you're going to be cranky and pissed off. Anyway, welcome everybody. My name's Kyle Shannon. This is the AI Learning Lab. All these URLs around my head here, I'll flip it in a second. But here's why these are here. If you have not played with ChatGPT, I'll talk about what the channel's about and who I am if that's of interest. But if you haven't played with ChatGPT, while I chat here, Sunday night class, go to chat.openai.com. That's the official ChatGPT website, and just start playing with it. If you don't have any clue what to do there, go to prompts.chat, that document down there, and that'll give you instructions on what prompting is and how to talk with this thing. It kind of looks on the surface like a Google search bar, but it goes way deeper. These are some deep waters, deep waters. That's ChatGPT. And then Bing.com is Microsoft's search engine, but if you click on the chat button, that's also ChatGPT, but it's GPT-4 connected to the internet, and it's free, and you can make images there. You just say, make me an image of a penguin in a superhero costume, and it will. And then Poe.com gives you access to 6 different ChatGPT large language models, or not ChatGPT-like large language models, including ChatGPT. Okay. And then Futurepedia.io, that is just a big old directory of AI tools. So let me flip these. So while I ramble, go there now. And go there until you have your Kevin McAllister moment. Play with it until this happens. And then you're ready to get started. Okay, so the way this works, pop any questions or comments you have down in the comments below. You can ask questions about AI. I'll do what I can to answer them or point you in directions. I do snarky commentary. I cuss occasionally, so if you don't like that, get on out. Get on out. And then what else? I'm an entrepreneur. I've started 12 or 15 companies. This channel exists to talk about generative AI, and I sort of see this inflection point of the stuff I talk about started on November 30th, 2022. So I'm not a machine learning guy. I'm not a data scientist. I'm not an engineer. I'm an entrepreneur, but I love technology, and I love transformative technology. The last time I was even remotely this excited about anything was in 1994 when I stumbled upon this thing called the World Wide Web. I started one of the first online magazines. I started one of the first digital agencies. And I didn't think in my lifetime I would be alive to see another thing that transformative. Thank you. Thank you for the hearty heart. something that transformative, and then along comes generative AI, ChatGPT and Midjourney and Stable Diffusion, those things. And it's going to change everything. In fact, my contention is it's already changed everything. It's just no one knows it yet. Well, 100 million people, or a couple 100 million people know it. But it's coming, and it's coming fast, and I think faster than any of us are prepared for. So that's what this channel is all about. What do I like most about AI technology? It is somewhere between having magical powers and having superpowers. Arthur C. Clarke says any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. It feels like magic. It felt like magic the first time I had it write a Python application for me, and I don't write Python. And it still feels like magic today. And then as the technology advances and gets more and more sophisticated, I get more and more excited. Normally with stuff like this, like when I was playing around with blockchain and NFTs and things like that, I got super excited about it initially. And the more I dug in, the less real it felt. The technology felt real, but the companies, the projects, the crypto bros, just all that stuff was just very surface level. This is completely the opposite. The harder you push it, the better it gets. The deeper you dig, the more interesting it gets and more profound it gets. And I've never felt more creatively alive and free as I have in the past 6 months, because this removes creative blocks. Like the idea of writer's block or creative block or any of that, like, disappears with this stuff. So that's it for me. It's kind of like it takes who you are and amplifies it, and it lets you to take little insignificant ideas you have and you kind of put them in these machines, and they come out like bigger than you imagined, much faster than you imagined. And then you get to start playing with them and refining them. And so, yeah, I think that's the thing I like most about it. All right. Sunday night class, Bard. Hello, Tobias. What's happening? Yeah, feel free to, if you want to get other folks in here, feel free to share the live. Double tap the like button. Looks like we hit a bunch of people, and they saw my face and they were like, yeah, and they took off. So let's get some more folks in here if we can. Feel free to pop any comments down below. I had my moment today using Vector Journey. Awesome. I don't know Vector Journey. Your Home Alone moment? What's Vector Journey? Let me go look at that. Vector Journey AI. I don't know what Vector Journey is. You mean Midjourney? Or is there some other tool I'm missing? Where do you think AI will be in a year? I'm glad you didn't say 5 years, because 5 years, I don't have a fucking clue. A year. Okay. In a year, so this time, July 2024, GPT-5 will be out. It will be truly multimodal, meaning you can input audio, video, image, words, and it will output all of those as well. We will likely have the first iterations of personal agents that are trained on our data. So rather than like having to go to ChatGPT and figure out what you want to prompt it to do, and do I need to add plugins and like all the shit it is now, we'll be more used to it, and the tools will have more autonomy. So we'll just say, like, go book me a trip, or go get United Healthcare to pay for my doctor's appointment or go reschedule my this or go book a whatever haircut, and it'll just go do it. So I think that's going to happen. I think generative multimedia, like generative video and generative music and all that sort of stuff, will be incredibly sophisticated. I think that we'll be 5 months out from the 2024 election. And so I think the internets will be full of misinformation, deep fakes, crazy shit like that. Oh, and I think that so whatever ChatGPT becomes will be incorporated into all of Microsoft products, all of Google's products, anything you do on AWS, deeply integrated within Meta's products, and Apple will have launched some AI something. Probably personal agents is my guess with Apple. I think that's... Oh, and then the other thing is, within businesses, AI will not... Like right now, people are like, well, I don't know if AI is real, and, you know, is it really ready for business? And I don't know what I'm doing. And those are the CEOs I'm making fun of. I think most businesses will either jump in with both feet and have AI strategies, or will be forced to have AI strategies. I don't think there will be many businesses a year from now that can ignore this. I think it's just going to be too far into what we do. That was a lot. Good Lord. Does this man ever shut up? I don't know. Why are you watching him? I have no idea. Hey, Bob, what's happening? Hey, could you grab me a cold one? Awesome. Oh, this guy again. Oh, good Lord. I absolutely love Bing, but I haven't tried ChatGPT. Yeah, so you have Bing Chat is GPT-4. It's just that it's Microsoft's version of it, basically. So you've got the OpenAI, chat.openai.com is ChatGPT. That's the original. And then Bing Chat is built on top of GPT-4. So it's the same underlying large language model that powers both of them. They just have slightly different implementations. And yeah, I mean, a couple of things about Bing right now. The official ChatGPT, they pulled their connection to the internet because it was scraping content from behind paywalls. And apparently it did it to Fortune magazine. And Time Inc. didn't take a shine to having their content stolen by a large language model, apparently. So they had to shut that puppy down. So Bing.com right now is the only one of these large language models directly connected to the internet. Also, you can generate images with Bing.com. You can also upload images to Bing.com, and it can read them. Like, you can upload a picture of a unicorn, and it will tell you it's a unicorn with sunshine and rainbows and Skittles. So yeah, Bing's pretty solid. You are correct. Wait, what was I correct about? God dang it, TikTok! It just jumped me to the bottom again. This guy seems like he doesn't know how to use TikTok. Shut up, Marge! He's talking about AI! He's talking about AI. Good Lord. God Lordy. What was that, like Minnesota Irish? All right. Where was I? I had my moment today. Where will I be in a year? I became number one. Wait, someone became number 41 member on the team. Congratulations, Susie Beach Toes. You're number 41 on the AI Learning Lab team. I have no idea what that means, but that's awesome, I think. There's I love Bing. You are correct about the... Oh, here we go. The creator block statement. Yeah, Telepo. There's just something about ChatGPT's ability to instantly take vague ideas and just go, I got you. You're like, I kind of have an idea generally about this, and you write it in crappy English with typos, and you're like, you got any thoughts on that? Of course I've got thoughts on that. And then somewhere in there, you're like, oh yeah, that's it. That's what I was thinking. But that's not quite right. Do it like this. Do it like that. And it is. Like, it's a weird emotional thing. So before, if I had an idea for something, and the next step was, okay, in order to bring that idea in any form of existence, I got to go to Google, I got to search for some sort of Wikipedia page or some sort of something, I got to read it, I got to like, if it had more than 5 steps, it had to be like a radically compelling idea that like kept me up at night to motivate me to go do that horrible bullshit work, right? Like the blocking and tackling work of creative ideation. And now with this thing, you kind of have that vapor of an idea and you stick it in there and it's just like, and you're like, oh, that's good. That's better than I thought. A little more. That's just, if you haven't used it, why do I have this stuff on screen while I talk? I'm not getting paid by them. If anybody knows anyone at OpenAI, this channel's like a fucking ad for them. I'm not being serious about that. I don't care if they pay me. But that's why I have it on screen. If you haven't played with it, go there. Go play with it. Any one of those 3. How do I feel about AI becoming a catch-all for ML and other things? I think it is... I think machine learning is more accurate. But AI is what they call it in the movies, and tough shit. AI's got a better PR firm than ML does. I don't really care. I think those distinctions are important for the people building the technology and for the researchers and the scientists to understand the difference between those. But for the 150 or 200 million people that are using ChatGPT that don't know the history of machine learning and AI, doesn't matter to them. What it is to them is it's the magic thing that writes their project plans now, or it's the thing that helps them write their great American novel, or it's the thing that helps them organize their garden. They don't give a fuck what it's called. Like, for example, OpenAI's new mind-blowing, face-melting tool is called Code Interpreter. Because from a technical perspective, what it's doing is called code interpreting. Human beings don't know that. It's a shitty name. It's a shitty name for a product that's got a consumer product or a consumer user base. It should be called like My Magic Programmer or fucking anything other than Code Interpreter, which makes it sound like, good Lord, do I take a nap now or when I start using it? But when you use it, it's face melting. You upload a file to it and say, what is this? And it starts writing Python code to figure out what it is, executing the Python code, and then writing its own instructions to help you understand what's in the fucking file. That's insanity. Well, we've named it Code Interpreter because from a technical perspective, that's the most accurate description of what's happening from the sense of, it's also quite limited. It just does Python code at this point. I mean, of course, in the future, it could of course be expanded to include other languages, and it could do things beyond interpreting code, of course. And right now, the modalities are, who gives a shit? Give it a good name. And tell people there's a little magic box inside that thing that is going to change everything. Maybe that's what we should do tonight. Is go to ChatGPT and come up with a new name for code interpreter, because it's the worst fucking name. I bitched about that somewhere, and someone made a comment to me. Well, it's the accurate description of what it is. So I don't care. It's the answer to your question. Sorry about that. I know I went off a little bit there, but I just had ribs. I'm supposing my blood pressure's a little spiked. Have I experimented with the Pi AI? I have installed it. Do you install that one? Yeah, I think it's an app. It's an iPhone app, and I talked to it, and it responded to me. And that's about as far as I got. I'm definitely paying attention to it because they just got funded for $1.3 billion for their Series B. That's a relatively significant Series B, even in the world of ridiculously overblown Series B valuations. That's right up there. So I'm now paying, and I think they're called Inflection is the name of the company behind Pi. So I'm paying attention to them. I'm paying attention to Anthropic, which Anthropic I like a lot. Although the sense I have about Anthropic is I bet they're building some amazing shit we haven't seen yet, and they have no marketing department because you just don't hear anything about them. But like the Poe or the Claude 100K model that you can play with at Poe.com, 75,000 word context window. Holy shit! So I have a feeling Anthropic's going to be big. I'm paying attention to them, Inflection, OpenAI, Microsoft. We'll see what Google does. I figure Apple will show up in a year. Apple will probably... Let's see. So they do their thing in June, and then when's their next thing? September? June is the developers conference. September is the new products. Is that how Apple does their thing? Or October? We might not hear anything from Apple on AI this next time, but probably by next June there'll be a pretty significant announcement from them, or there'll just be something built into the operating systems. What AI program can I use to copy a website? I would go to futurepedia.io and go to there's probably a web design section there. I know there's some that copy websites. There's some where you pop in a URL, it scrapes the website and then separates it into a Figma design library based on that website. So I know there's some that do it. I haven't done it. So I would go to futurepedia.io, that bottom one there. That's why that's there. Futurepedia.io, its purpose on this list is not that I love it. It's just that it keeps track of all these tools because I can't. So I think it's what the guy's name is Matt Wolf that started that. He's got a YouTube channel. The ability to AIify yourself is coming very soon. Upload your digital footprint, get an AI. Yeah, I agree, Dave. I think that's going to be. I think that's kind of the next big thing, right? Somewhere between autonomous agents and personal agents, or personal assistants, or whatever we're going to call them, PIs. I think that's next because like I only give so much of a shit about outside data unless I'm a data scientist or unless I have a client that's doing it. But everyone on the planet would like to be able to leverage, like if you think about. Depending on how long you've been on the planet, I've been on the planet for a fair fucking time, and I've been on the internet in a pretty significant way since late 80s, early 90s, in some form or other. And wouldn't it be amazing to be able to just be rewarded for all of my digital hoarding? Right? I've got all these hard drives full of data. I've got a MySpace page somewhere. I've got a fucking, Facebook for a decade and a half. Right? We all have all this shit everywhere. Wouldn't it be amazing to just be able to point this tool to all that and have it kind of synthesize it and assimilate it into some usable thing that can amplify my contribution? That would be amazing. So yeah, I agree. I think that's coming. I think that's going to be big. Have you heard of people deleting their negative comments about AI in case it overtakes over in the future? I have heard that. I think it's listen, here's what I appreciate about that. It's at least critical thinking. Like the thing that I evangelize the most on this channel is get curious about this shit. Like, understand what it is, understand how it does what it does and what it makes possible and all that. But in the end, I just want people to be curious about it. And so if someone's curious enough to go, if this thing gets powerful enough and I say shitty things about AI and it doesn't like that, yeah, I'm going to go get rid of that shit. But then, listen, if you're going to go down that paranoia rabbit hole, then you got to get rid of your Alexa because, you got to go delete all your Amazon data and your Siri data and your Google data, like all the fucking machines that are listening to us, because all the stuff that you're saying to your friends on the phone call, that's being recorded too. It ain't just what you typed on TikTok comments. So I think it's cute. I think people give corporations and AI more credit. I think people think they're more important than they really are. Like, if you're actually a really important person that would be targeted, maybe so. I mean, we're all just doing our thing here. I don't think AI or corporations generally give too much of a shit about what we do individually. They just want our money. Real-time voice cloning is already here. Imagine a personal AI-powered voicemail screening service. Apple has already announced that that's coming. In fact, in the new version of, well, not quite what you're saying, but the voice cloning piece, in the new operating system, you're going to be able to have a synthesized version of you that can, like, respond to voicemails when you're driving, and for people that can't talk, it's going to be able to do something for them. So, yeah, I agree. I think that's coming. Dave's on top of it. /home/Dave. I dig it. He's in it. Love your lives. Thank you very much. Nature's blessing. I appreciate that. You have a charming personality. There's a line from the Cherry Orchard. Mama, do you think I'm pretty? You have beautiful hair. You have a nice personality. Thank you. See, these are the comments I like in my lives. It's a compliment, right? Right? Oh, it's good. It's solid. All right. Let's see. Where are we? So I'm finding myself in the comments here. Love your lives. There's the charming personality. You have a charming personality. Mama, am I pretty? You have beautiful hair. Hey, Joy. I feel like AI is just a buzzword at this point still. Eric Mole. Eric. Have you used it? AI is absolutely overhyped. This is absolutely overhyped. This is as overhyped, if not more, than blockchain and NFTs. And we all know where they are right now. They're in a turlet. This is different. If you have not played with ChatGPT, Eric, go there now. Go there now. And if you don't know what to do there, go to prompts.chat and it will tell you what to do there. It's just like a Google search bar. Tell it to write you a country song. Describe your pet or your significant other and tell it to write you a country song about them. And then ask it a really hard question about something you know something about. So yes, it's overhyped. Yes, it's a buzzword. And it's the most profound technology ever put in the hands of humans. Both and. The genius of and. I use it for song lyrics, yep. It's good for that. It's really good for that. GPT-4 in particular is quite good for that. Can you type in images and prompt it to make different variations? Kind of, yeah, you can. I wish it were that simple. It's not quite that simple. So there are a number of different tools. These are things for you to go watch YouTube videos on. Midjourney for image generation tools is the one that's the best in my opinion right now. It's the most sophisticated. It's got a thing called blend mode, and you can also upload an image and then prompt against it, and it will sort of do a variation of it. So there's Midjourney. Stable Diffusion has a number of different things, including a thing called Control Net, which allows you to upload images to use as kind of the base layout of the image, and then you can do new stuff with it. Stable Diffusion's good, but it's complicated and you need to be pretty geeky. Then there's Photoshop's Generative Fill. And Generative Fill's really powerful. You could upload a picture of a person and like select everything but the person, like the whole background, and say, put them in a snowy forest rather than the beach that they're on, and it will. And then you can select like their coat and say, give them a puffy parka, and you can select their hair and put a hat on them. So there's lots of different ways to do it, but it's not as the generative image stuff right now. The thing that I'll say about it that's the most frustrating is that it's pretty hard to get predictable results. Or if you get a result you like and then you want to recreate kind of exactly that character in a different scene, that's not super easy right now. Generating newly original stuff, super easy, super awesome. Just go to Midjourney, generate shit. But if you want to take that person, put them in a different scene and have it remember that and all that sort of stuff, it's a little bit of spit and duct tape right now for that kind of work. My new BFF is code interpreting. That's awesome. Code interpreter, amazing, absolutely amazing. That's a good idea. New name for code interpreter. I might do that. That might be something fun to do tonight. I helped raise $39 million for a Series A and was thrilled. Oh, that's awesome. For your Series A or for someone else's? Like either way, that's a solid Series A. Do you watch the All In Pod? They were talking about Pi in today's podcast. Yeah, I watch those guys. I know Jason Kalkanis pretty well. He was the editor and publisher of this back in the day. That's me. So I know Jason pretty well. You know how you can get rich with... Yeah, exactly. You can make money with ChatGPT. You know what we should do some night? Is we'll get everybody ready to start tapping the like button. And then I'll just say that over and over like 30 times in a row so that people flicking through TikTok just see that and they're like, I can make money with ChatGPT. Then they come in and they'll be disappointed with me, like, figure out a good business and then use AI. That's how you make money with ChatGPT. Business first, AI second. It's such a disappointment when when you're just like, I want to get rich quick. Sorry. Go make a course on how to get rich with ChatGPT and make an annoying video, and maybe you'll get rich. ChatGPT can write the course. Is that what Zuckerberg done for Twitter? Oh, copy and paste. Yeah, exactly. 3G classic rock. That's what's awesome, isn't it? You can get rich with ChatGPT. If you put it on the internet, it's there for eternity. I know, but we all thought that I'll put it on the internet. No one will ever really find it. No one's going to go looking for it. Well, now AI can just bring it all back to life as if we intended it like that. Oh, well. Actually, you know what? Oh, that's okay. So these lives for the past few nights have become business. So I'll give you a business idea. You want to go start? You want to make money with ChatGPT? Here's one. Create a tool that goes and scrapes someone's social graph and identifies potentially embarrassing shit for them, and then they can choose whether or not to delete it. That would be perfect for AI, right? So I just log in, I give it an account for 14.99. It will go out. I give it permission for $14.99. It can scrape up to 3 social media services, and for $29.99, it'll do 10. And then I give it my credentials for all my social media services. It goes out and it crawls my entire fucking history, and then it runs GPT analysis and finds stuff. You sure you wanted to say this? Would you like me to delete that for you? For another $5, I can delete it in the 37 other places it exists on the internet. Would you like that too? Pring! Go start that business. You'll be fucking rich. Send me a whatever you do on TikTok here. If you do that, if you make some money. AI Learning Lab, free business ideas, so you too can make money with ChatGPT. Can ChatGPT manipulate images? Code Interpreter sure can. I wonder if Code Interpreter. I wonder if it could recolor an image. Want to go play with Code Interpreter? Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum-bum. All right, so this thing on screen, so this was something Code Interpreter did. So I uploaded this image. So I uploaded this image, which is this cool sort of dark, moody fantasy image. I didn't make it. Someone from the AI salon did. And then I asked Code Interpreter to find the 15 average colors, top 15 average colors in the image, and then put their relative percentages in a pie chart, and then make each segment of the chart the color of the color, and name them a creative name. And so it did all this. It wrote code to go find all that shit, which is just mind-blowing that it does that. It gives itself instructions and then goes and writes and executes Python code to go do it. And then goes and writes and executes Python code to go do it. So then it named all the colors, gave me their percentages, and then it ended up creating that chart. So what I don't know now, let's see. Please list the colors and their hex values. All right, so it's going back. I assume there's an unexpected error. Okay. Oh, let's see. We'll convert the RGB values into hexadecimal, which is a common way of representing. So here's another thing that Code Interpreter does. So the first time I asked it for hex values, so it went in and it saw RGB values and it said, well, that's not good because they're RGB values. So let's change them to hex values. Then it said, we lost the library that we installed. So we're going to do that. All right, so this has all been lost. So we're going to start over. So screw this. We're going to start over. Okay. I want to see if we can do something here. So I'm going to go Code Interpreter. And what you do here is there's a little upload button next to your prompt now. So I'm going to go find an image. Oh, that's good. Okay. So it's a big old tractor pull, tractor pull tractor. So I'm going to say, please find the top 15 average colors in this image and name the name them creatively and make a table with the names, percentages, and hex values. Okay, so if you don't have any clue what I'm doing, so I'm in ChatGPT. There's this new thing called Code Interpreter where you can upload files. I asked it to do some crazy shit. I uploaded a picture and I asked it to give me the top 15 average colors, name them, give me their percentages and their hex values. So it couldn't get it because they were RGB. So it's not liking that. But what's cool is every time it goes to do something, it writes Python code. So it figures out what libraries it needs. It writes the code. It tries its thing. So it's doing a k-means cluster to get the colors. And then if it messes up, it says, oops, I messed up. I apologize for messing up. So let me write some more Python code. And then it does that and says, oops, I screwed up. And now it says, great, we've successfully identified the top 15 dominant colors in the image. We've calculated their proportions. Now let's give these colors some creative names. Okay, Golden Harvest, Deep Moss, Sky Reflection, Ocean Deep, Dark Forest. I'm going to say, can you make a horizontal bar chart with the length based on the percentage, the color of the bar should be the color. I don't know if that's right wording. That's some English words in a sentence. The color of the bar should be the color, and the name of the color should be inside the bar. If the color is light, the text should be dark. If the color is dark, the text should be light. Let's see if that does anything interesting. So it's writing code. What's it doing? It brought in a matplot. So it brought in a plotting library. It's writing Python code to determine the length of the bar charts. And there you go. And it actually did it. Look at this. Dark Forest is in light. Like, it made the dark colors have light fonts. The light colors have dark fonts. It named them all down here. Here's the relative percentages. Okay, so now we have a color palette from that image. So now we're going to say, can you characterize this color palette as if you were a creative writer? Let's see what it does. Absolutely. Imagine I don't want that. Sorry, I just want a label for the kinds of colors here. I would call it Rustic Nature Symphony. Great. So I'm going to say, perfect. Great job. By the way, saying thank you and please to your AI is not a bad, great job, is not a bad thing to do. It seems to enjoy it and get better if it knows you're happy with it. Perfect. Great job. Now, I'd like you to name a color palette that is very different than this, and where anything green is now red. What would be the name of that palette? Autumn's Fiery Serenade. Perfect. Is it possible for you to show me that palette keeping the same color percentages but change out the colors for your new palette? Yes, apparently so. So now it's going off and writing some more Python code. I mean, I don't know about you, but like the fact that this is anywhere in the neighborhood of remotely possible is staggering to me. So it's creating new RGB colors. They gave us some new names: sun-dried tomato, lemon zest. There's the hex values. So it did it. Peppermint snow, driftwood gray, charcoal black, cotton candy sky, velvet night, sun-dried tomato. There's the colors. Where's sun-dried tomato in there? Why is that not in there? Oh, there it is. Oh, it's kind of brown. Can you make sun-dried tomato more red? So what did this one do? I guess that just fixed the colors. And now I guess this next one is writing the, yeah, it's making that. All right, well, it made sun-dried tomato orange. Now let's try one final thing. Okay. Is it possible to recolor the original image by mapping this new palette to the colors in the image? It may not, because it just took the top 15, but let's see what it does. And so apparently, I haven't actually done this. Apparently what Code Interpreter can also do is it can process. Oh, it did it! Holy shit! Oh my god. Okay, I'm shooketh. Is anyone paying attention to what's going on here? Let's see. Open image in a new tab. Where did it do it? Did it do it? Where's my image? What'd you do with my image, ChatGPT? God dang it. Let's see. Copy image link. Let's go over to here and paste image link. Let's go look at this thing. Come on, what is happening? Is it going? Well, anyway. Can I make it bigger? There we go. So that original image, the tractor was green. So now it's done this sort of posterized thing. It made, holy crap. So I uploaded an image. I found out a bunch of stuff about the image, and then I told it to recolor the image, and it just recolored the image. There you go, people. I don't know. I don't know what to say. If you don't find that mind-blowing, you ain't been paying attention. Have you been paying attention? Whoever said this shit was overhyped, it's for good reason. Sometimes the hype is there because the shit's real. Just because it's overhyped doesn't mean it's overhyped. It just might be appropriately hyped. What if it's underhyped? Equally plausible. So yes, ChatGPT can manipulate images. So a couple of things. If you go to bing.com, so you come to Bing, it's just like a Google search box, but there's this chat button. So you go chat, and you can just ask it to generate an image. So you could say, create a purple tractor racing on a dirt road. So it's going to go do that. Why they use this image as the placeholder image for when it's generating images, I guess it's pixels, but whatever. Stupid. It's a very Microsoft thing to do. Look, there's our purple tractor racing down the road. So it can generate images, but the other thing Bing can do that ChatGPT can't do, which I find kind of cool. Let's go find an image. Let's see. Okay, there's a good one. This is an image from the AI Salon. So I'm going to drag this in here. So you can drag an image in here and you can say, what is the main subject of this image and what does the text say? And so it's a zebra and it should say AI Salon. So let's see if it figures it out. The image you requested is not available yet. It got confused. I'm going to create a new topic. I'm going to have it forget the other thing. It got confused with the purple tractor. What is the main subject in this image and what does the text say? This is one of the common experiences that you'll have with these GPT tools is that sometimes they're just weird and do shit wrong. The main subject of this image is a zebra in a running motion with a mane and its tail flying in the wind. The background is solid yellow with AI Salon written in black. That's not quite right. The artist name, Alizzle Wizzle, is written in the top left corner. No, it's in the bottom left corner, but it got that right. The illustration is in a comic book style. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any more information on what the topic says. So it got that mostly right. So Bing can both make images and understand images. So you could there's probably a fair amount that you could do with that. Looks like we have some new people here. Welcome everybody. This is the AI Learning Lab. Let me go show you this little document or this little graphic, page, whatever the hell it is. If you're new to generative AI, if you've not played with ChatGPT, go to that. Go there. Go right now. Go play with that. Listen to the people that have been here that hang out in my lives. They went there, and then they went like this. And so what that is that's ChatGPT's official website. Bing is what I was just showing. That's Microsoft's version of ChatGPT. If you don't know anything about this at all, go to prompts.chat. That document right there will teach you about prompting, and will give you a bunch of ideas for what you can do with this thing. If you haven't played with it, just go start playing. And then if you want to, feel free to ask any questions here. And I just got distracted. Someone said I have a great laugh, which I appreciate, and then they said I have great hair, which I think is comical. Because actually today it's looking pretty good. The glue's holding, but when the glue goes, it can get pretty disturbing. All right, let me flip this back around. But thank you, I appreciate the compliment. The prompt is everything, not too much, too little. Yeah, the prompt is everything. I mean, the thing about ChatGPT, it's all about giving it enough context to understand kind of what's in bounds and what's out of bounds of what you want. And if you get better at asking questions, it turns into a fucking superpower. Hey, when you have a minute, please explain where to upload the image for Midjourney to include in a prompt. Okay, I'll go show you that right now. Here we are in Midjourney. So if you've never used Midjourney, then I have to explain two tools to you, because you can only make Midjourney images right now in Discord. Why is that? Because whatever, doesn't matter. That's where they started. They were probably NFT bros when they started, and they're like, hey, we can make images. Let's do it in Discord. Everyone's on Discord. So anyway, if you go to midjourney.com, it'll point you to Discord. You get it. Give yourself a Discord account if you don't have one. So when you're in Discord, all these circles down the left are the different servers. So those are basically different communities or different servers. And then when you're in a server, when you're in a community, you've got, these are channels. And so I'm in the AI Salon channel. Midjourney has one of these where everything's Midjourney related. But I'm just in the Midjourney channel on the AI Salon. Okay, so here's some images I produced on my last live, and there's some buttons here. I'll show you all those. But the person here, Tobias, wanted to know how do you basically use an image as a base to create another image. So what we're going to do is we're going to go find an image. So I'm on a Mac. Let's see. Yeah, that's a good one. This was when I was experimenting with something, trying to create a persona. So what I did was I just dragged that image from my Finder into the prompt window, and then I'm going to hit return. And so what that's going to do is it's going to upload that image. So now that image is in there. So now what I do is, I don't know why it says it's processing it, but whatever. I'm going to right-click it, or if you're on a Mac, control-click it, and then I'm going to copy the link to that image. And so now I'm going to make an image just like I normally would, /imagine. And then what you do is you paste in the URL of that image. So basically you have to upload it to Discord, right-click it, get the URL, then type /imagine as you normally would, paste in the image, and then let's say woman standing on a rooftop overlooking Manhattan during sunset. Let's just see what that does. So that should put her on a roof overlooking Manhattan during sunset, or some version of her, or maybe like it'll keep the composition and change other things. We'll see what it does. So there's at least a woman. And if you haven't seen Midjourney or any of these tools, how they make images, they all start with this blurry sort of noisy completely nondescript image, and then it denoises over a series of like 70 steps. They don't show you all the steps, but it's like, somewhere between 30 and 70 steps. They're denoising, so it gets more and more detailed. So these images are actually being generated from just random pixels, and then they get increasingly more detailed as it goes. It looks like it did this pretty well. So she's got on kind of the same kind of top. Her hair is sunlit. Yeah, this is pretty good, actually. Like, I mean, that one is definitely like her on a rooftop with, Manhattan in the background at sunset. And this one, you can't quite see it with the thing, but it's got like sun rays coming out. So anyway, that's how you do it. Crazy, right? Cuckoo! Using Topaz AI Mask, AI can do the selection background removal tool. Yeah, there's going to be lots of tools that do. A lot of the tools now are doing really sophisticated background removal quite easily, which is good. I use it every day to write social media posts. It gives me more time to create content. Yes. These tools, what they're really good at is the shitty, repetitive, soul-crushing, like blocking and tackling work of knowledge work. They do all the shitty work. Frees us up to do the higher level thinky work. If you can do more thinky work, we can do better shit for clients and for ourselves. And work may not suck as much. Been playing with ChatGPT since January. Just got 4 where I can learn about plugins and how to use. Plugins are weird, and plugins are somewhere between remarkable and why are these here? What do these do? The way I'm thinking about plugins right now is like the early days of the iPhone. So when the iPhone first came out, the App Store didn't exist. It said, here's this phone, and it's got these things, and they didn't call them apps. They called them widgets, which was a Mac holdover. And widgets were actually it was just a web browser. So when you clicked on a widget, it just took you to a web page that was sort of an application in a website. And it was like that for a year or so. And everybody made fun of them. They're like, what's the point of the widgets? Widgets are just websites. This is stupid. Why don't you just go to a website? Apple's an asshole. They completely redefined, how we interact with all information. And people were like, but it's not perfect. So that's where I think plugins are right now. And even I'm whining about them. And Sam Altman himself said there's not a product market fit for widgets, and it's probably because they suck and the interface isn't there, and they're not there. That said, some of them are really good. Like there's some that read PDF files and read websites and things like that. Code Interpreter can replace a lot of the widgets actually. But it's worth playing with because what widgets represent is kind of what I showed earlier with Code Interpreter, where you kind of give it a goal. You give ChatGPT or whatever, your agent, you give your virtual agent, thank you very much for the rose. You give your virtual agent a goal, and then it will just figure out, okay, which plugins do I need to use? Which code do I need to write? Are there any APIs available? If there's not, I'll create one. I'll go get the data, I'll bring it back. All right. just like a trained monkey. You put a cowboy hat or a heart on my head and I just dance. But if you've got access to plugins, you also have access to Code Interpreter. So not only should you be learning about plugins, but start figuring out what you can do with Code Interpreter. I don't have a flippin' clue right now because I've only had it for 2 days. And I know, like, I'm still at parlor tricks stage with Code Interpreter. Like what I just did with that tractor image. Like, pull the colors out of it, put it in a chart, give them fancy names. And now I learned, change the colors and redo that image, and it did it. I haven't quite figured out what it can really do and what I'll get excited about with it, but I know it's big. I know there ain't been nothing ever in my life that is even remotely close to what Code Interpreter is doing right now. I think before I go tonight, we're going to rename Code Interpreter. And then, oh, you know what we could do? Okay. There's 99 of us here. If we can keep a decent amount of people here, tap the heart button. Maybe we can get some more people here. So what we're going to do is we'll go to ChatGPT. We'll rename Code Interpreter. We'll come up with some clever name for it, and then we can all go to Twitter or something and tag OpenAI and tell them we all approve of the new name, that we think they should rename Code Interpreter because it's a shitty name and we don't care if it's accurate. All right, maybe we'll do that later. That'll be fun. What'd you do tonight? I don't know. We did some kind of anarchy. There was this old dude on TikTok, and he was a little feisty. We renamed something, and we tagged Sam Altman. I feel like a rebel. What are you talking about, Marge? I'm talking about AI. It's going to change the world, Sally. Marge, you been drinking again? You know I don't do that. I've used it to create a lot of good synthware style software scenery. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I bet it's good at that. That's sweet. What's this Code Interpreter of GPT-4? So I assume I'm behind on my comments here. You can I'll go show it again, and that's what we're talking about. We're gonna have to rename it because it's a horrible name. But Code Interpreter. So ChatGPT, you can go in and you can type shit, and then it does amazing things, right? Make me a poem, write me a song, write me a project plan, compare this philosophy with that philosophy, write me Python code. It does all the shit, right? It does all this deep, amazing stuff. Code Interpreter allows you to upload a data file up to 100 megabytes. So the data file can be, it seems like almost anything. You can upload a zip file, that like a compressed single zip file that has 100 files in it, and it will unzip the file and then read all the 100 files within it, which I didn't think it could do. I thought you could just upload like one spreadsheet and it could do that. No. You can upload a zip file full of a bunch of other files and it will read all of them. It will understand all of them. And then you can tell it to do shit with that data or with that file. So you can say, hey, what are the interesting trends in this data, and visualize them for me. And then it gives itself a set of instructions to meet your goals, and it starts writing Python code and executing it. And like if you upload a zip file, the first thing it does is it writes Python code to unzip the zip file and look at what's in it. And then it writes more code to look at the shit that's in it and categorize it and coalesce it into a single file that it can deal with. And then it makes charts and graphs, and it's just insanity. It's just fucking bonkers. And this is like version, like this is like it's beta, right? Like this is just out of alpha. This is like it only does Python. So like you can imagine a future version of this will happen instantly, and it will write all the languages, and you'll just give it a goal and it's going to go do a bunch of shit. That's what it is, Dance Rosie. I know. I'll dance. You put a cowboy hat on me, I talk like a cliche cowboy. Just happens. You can take the actor off the stage, but you can't take the stage out of the actor. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, cowpoke? Sorry, I lost my place in the comments again. This happens. Old guy trying to use TikTok. He's an old guy trying to use TikTok. His hair's receding. His nose is hairy. He's got something wrong with his neck. Oh, okay, here we go. Vector journey. I absolutely love Bing. Oh, I went back too far. Hold. Oh, I went back way too far. Dang it. What'd you do tonight? I don't know. That's some old guy trying to find his way on TikTok. All right. There was the please explain how to do something. In Midjourney, I did that. They should have asked ChatGPT to name code interpreter. We're going to do that tonight, and we're gonna Twitter bomb Sam Altman and OpenAI. We're gonna rename it tonight. It's the worst fucking name. Okay, here we are. No date yet on the Musk Zuck cage match. Not yet, but I think they've picked a venue in Vegas. And Dana White from UFC said if they do it, it's going to be the biggest fight in history, like the biggest purse in history. So they could end up raising a shit ton of money for charity, which is cool. Like, great, go punch the fuck out of each other. I don't care, fucking idiots. What's the best place to learn plugins and Zapier? Plugins, I don't know. Just start playing. I'll show you a couple of them here. Been on ChatGPT since January, just subbed into 4. Zapier is a different thing. So if you just got into ChatGPT, the GPT-4 thing, you should probably also get into, if you want to do Zapier, you should get into the playground and pay for API access, which it sounds like it's double dipping, but it's a different thing, and the API access is not that expensive if you're just developing small scale stuff. But let me go show you. I'll go show you a couple of things here. Okay, so for plugins, so I assume you turn them on in settings, but for those of you who may be new to ChatGPT Plus, if you want GPT-4 plugins and code interpreter, you have to pay for GPT Plus. If you do that and you don't see them, you have to enable them in your settings. This is a non-obvious thing. I don't know why they did this. I don't like it, but whatever. So you come into your settings, you go to beta features, and then you have to turn on access to plugins and code interpreter. And then when they bring back Browse with Bing, you'll have to turn that on as well. Okay. So I assume you've used plugins, but if you haven't, the way they work is in any given chat session, you can enable up to 3 of them at the same time. So here's Instacart. Let's see. These are ones I've got available to me that I installed. And then in this plugin session, I can, include up to 3. So I'll do Get Your Guide. And trip.com. We'll do those 2. So I'll say, make me a plan for my trip to Toledo, Ohio in September. I want to have fun during the day, and I like turtles. So I've enabled 2 plugins that are related. What exact date in September? How many days do you plan to stay? Let's say September 14th for 3 days from Denver. So that's probably going to go book a trip on trip.com is my guess. And then we'll see. Great. Here's a 3-day itinerary. Visit the Cathedral of Toledo. Explore the Alcazar Historic Stone Formation. Stay at the Palacio Buena Vista. It's sending me to a bunch of religious places. That's weird. A museum dedicated to El Greco, the synagogue. Wait, this is weird. I'm going to stop it. This is weird. They are all religious activities, and I like turtles. What about turtles? I like turtles. So now it's using Get Your Guide. So maybe it realized it needed some. I found some activities that involve turtles. Oh my God. Wait, cruise the Strait of Gibraltar? I'm going to stop it again. No, it has to be in Ohio. Isn't there a zoo? Question mark. All right. So anyway, so that's how you use. So plugins, and actually, what I'm experiencing right now, a lot of the plugins, like, are this kind of frustrating, where they seem like they should be better than they are. Some of them are really good. Some are bad. So here's a river cruise where I could see a turtle. Here's a sightseeing cruise. As for the Toledo Zoo, it's one of the top-rated zoos. That's what we're talking about. And there's my little river boat. All right, so I can go see some turtles there. So anyway, that's how you use those things. What was the question? Where's the best place to learn plugins? Oh, and Zapier. Okay. So for the plugins, probably YouTube, or go to Reddit and just hang out in like the ChatGPT forums and Reddit and search for plugins. And there's a lot of plugins. The other thing about plugins, if you haven't played with them, is how you add new ones. Is you go to this list that you have to enable them, and there's a plugin store, and then we'll see how many there are now. Last time I checked, there were like 620. So I'll go to all. There's 163 pages of 4 plugins each. So whatever that math is, that's how many plugins there are. So there's a lot of them. Like I said, a lot of them are crap. A lot of them are just experiments where people are experimenting how to do plugins. And then there's some occasional good ones. Let's see. I'll tell you the ones that I have installed that I like. Ask Your PDF is good, although with Code Interpreter, that's completely irrelevant now. Diagrams, not bad. Chat with Videos, not bad. But again, I think Code Interpreter is going to make a lot of these obsolete. Instacart's kind of fun. You can have it, give you a meal plan and then give you a shopping list for the meal plan and have it delivered to your door. Kayak is not bad. ML Paper Reader is machine learning papers, like scientific papers. OpenTable, you can book restaurants. Why you would do that here and not through OpenTable's beyond me. Pluginpedia is a thing that'll tell you about plugins. Prompt Perfect is actually kind of fun. You type the word perfect before a prompt and it'll rewrite it. Show Me Diagrams is good. Stories is good. Web Pilot I use a lot, but again, I have a feeling I'm gonna be using Code Interpreter more than stuff connected to the internet. And yeah. Oh, and then there's a Zapier one where you can sort of describe an automation and it'll go make it for you. I don't really use that one though, so that's that. Okay. So now, if you want to do Zapier, so one thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get on the playground. So it's the OpenAI playground. So you go to platform.openai.com/playground, and that'll bring you here. And it's sort of like ChatGPT, except you have to give it a system message like, you are an expert smartass, and no matter what someone says to you, you can answer them, but do it in a snarky and cynical, but humorous way. You don't want to hurt anyone, but just make them laugh. It may not enjoy that, so I'm going to say, hello there. What is the best way to get to Carnegie Hall? The answer is practice. Carnegie Hall. Okay. Submit. The famous Carnegie Hall. The best way to get there? Well, I suppose you could try hitchhiking on a unicorn's back. Okay, so it's bad. But anyway, so this is where you can practice your prompt writing. And then you've also got all the different settings and different models, right? So this is 3.5 Turbo. There's GPT-4 in here. There's the chat mode. There's the complete mode, which they're deprecating. They're getting rid of that. Most of the stuff I've written is incomplete, so hopefully they don't kill it too soon, or my shit's gonna break. So anyway, but this is where you go to sort of get your prompts dialed in, and then when you go to Zapier. Oh, the other thing you do at the playground is, and this is important, under your account, there's view API keys. This is where you get your API key to put into Zapier. So here's my API keys. You create a new secret API key, it gives you the key, and that's what you're going to put into Zapier. So then in Zapier, I just did a workshop on this for a couple of guys I work with. So I've got a good example here that's nice and simple. I didn't rename it. It's still called Untitled Zap because I don't have any creativity in me. Let's call it Simple Example Zap. That's good. Okay. So this is kind of the most simple thing you can do in Zapier as an automation. Is there's kind of three modes. There's get some data in, there's process that data, and then there's do something with what you processed. And so in this case, I'm pulling in data from a Google form. I've got a prompt here that's going to go to OpenAI that uses the data from that form. And then I'm going to take the output of what ChatGPT gives me and send that to that person via email. So there's three components. So what Zapier is it's kind of these Lego blocks of different services. So basically when you set up, like your Google form, you say, okay, when someone gives you a new form response from this account, from this form, here's the data that they're going to input, and then you're going to go to the next thing. So I'm going to send a prompt to OpenAI from this account using this prompt, right, that incorporates, the answer from that Google form or, multiple fields from the Google form. And then I'm going to get, I think in this case, I got back a poem. Yeah. So I'm going to get back a poem, and then I'm going to take that poem and I'm going to stick it in. I'm going to send an email from Gmail from this account with, from this person with this subject line where I incorporated, the thing from the form as well. And here's the body. And then, it's going to send an email. So that's a really simple automation. But that's basically what it is. So you'll need your accounts in your different services. You'll need your API key if you're doing anything with OpenAI, and then you're off to the races. So I know there's a lot. Holy shit, there's still 100 people here. I figured there'd be like 3 people left. It's like, is he just going to point to his screen for the next hour? This is awful. What is this channel? It is what it is, man. Man, sometimes, man, it's just like I get to, man, Sometimes I point at the screen, man. It's how it goes, man. You know, man? I just thought ChatGPT doesn't have real-time browsing capabilities. It doesn't, but an application layer on top of it can, right? So if you go to bing.com and you go to chat, that's GPT-4 connected to the internet. So the core large language model itself, so when you're searching, when you're chat GPTing and you say, write me a poem or this or that, the core large language model is not connected to the internet. It's doing all that language processing down there. But they've written it in such a way that it can understand what you're asking for, and it says, if they're asking for something that's more recent than what I have in my core model, go do a search on the internet and then incorporate that response into whatever they ask me to do. So it sort of combines the large language model with the internet search and provides you a coherent answer. So it makes it seem like it is connected to the internet, but it's actually two operations that are kind of being munged into one thing. Extortion via ChatGPT, I think that's going to be a major business. I think the mob is probably all excited about ChatGPT right now. I'd pay $40 for that service. For which service? Oh, the scraping, the one where I said, $40 for. Here's all my social media accounts. Go scrape them all and bring back to me anything that you think might be compromising or embarrassing. And then I can just go, keep it, kill it. Keep, kill, keep, kill, keep, kill, keep, kill. Oh, God, I can't believe I said that. Kill. Off it goes. And for another $19.95, I'll go find all the places on the internet that exist beyond where you posted it yourself, you fucking moron. I like Code Interpreter because it keeps trying methods that don't work right away. Yeah, respect, exactly. Yeah, it does. What's cool about Code Interpreter is it's got no shame, right? It's just like, I gave it my shot. Apologies for that not working. You know what we could try? That failed too. Hey, but you know what we could try? It's amazing. Is Code Interpreter going to be available for iOS mobile version? It might be now. Is it not? I don't know. You might have to turn it on. So just like you have to turn it on in your beta features here, I would assume it is. And then even if it's not, like on mobile, I just use a browser. I just use the chat.openai.com in a browser. Because I think I think in a lot of ways it's easier to use than their app, because their app doesn't have parity with the web app, which I find stupid. But they also named this remarkable thing Code Interpreter. Let's see, team. We want to come up with a name for this new feature that's going to revolutionize all of humanity. Well, it's technically interpreting code. What if we called it Code Interpreter? I like it. It's simple. It's direct. No one will know what the fuck it means. Let's go with that. Code Interpreter it is. I mean, seriously, did they have a fucking meeting? They know that 100 million people started using ChatGPT that were not engineers, right? They know that, right? Like, someone there knows that, right? Code Interpreter? Please don't be recording this and send it to Sam Altman. I don't want to be on some fucking podcast 2 weeks from now. Sorry, Sam. I just got carried away. I was kind of excited. I was on live. People were hitting the heart button. See? It's your fault. It's not my fault. I take no responsibility here. None. Oh, good. Code Interpreter names. Dreamcraft, Dreamcode, Dreamify, CodeSpark, Idea Engine, Code Cave, recodery. Maybe something around agent. Magic agent? No. I don't know. I don't know. Keep those cards and letters coming. Keep the ideas coming. We'll get there. We're going to rename this fucker. Ask it to give you a downloadable file of the analysis, including text and charts. Oh, that's a cool idea. Okay, I'll do that. Just watched a good 60-minute show on AI. Nice. Can you just ask it to scramble the colors and recreate the photo? That's what I did. Oh yeah, I mean, and recreate the photo. Probably. Let me try that. All right, we're gonna put a photo in here. Do we want to completely randomize them, or do we want to cycle them? Let's cycle them. Some degree around the color wheel. We'll do this one because it's a good one. Recolor this image by increasing the luminance and cycling the colors 87.5 degrees on the color wheel. I don't know if that's possible, but I assume it is. This is like one of those this is one of those things where like having some competence in math probably would be a good thing, but now you don't have to. Look at this. It does. So look, it said, okay, load the image, convert it to HSL, hue, saturation, lightness, so it can increase the luminance. Add 87.5 degrees to the hue. Convert the image back to RGB, save it, and display the new image. Now let's go ahead and carry out these steps. So it wrote all our Python code. Brought in NumPy, color sys, image. And now it's thinking. It's a big image, so what it might end up doing is saying, I'm sorry, we can't do that, but we could do it if we downsample the image. That's happened with this image before. It's a big image. It doesn't like big images. All right. The youngins will think nothing of it as it was always here. I know, that's the way it is, though. That's just tough on us. You know, we get to say, in my day, you actually had to do your own Python coding. What's Python, Grandpa? Shut up. Get off my porch. The image has been successfully recolored. Here's the output. I see no link or no image. Can you please give it to me? Oh, I guess I should flip these things so you're not. Wow, it did it. That's fucking insane. So there's that same image. I don't know that its luminance is that much brighter, but maybe. Let's go look. Yeah, I guess it is. Nah, not really. I don't think the luminance is brighter. Maybe a little bit. But it definitely cycled. It cycled the colors. That's just insanity. It's just insanity. Wow. I got nothing. I got nothing. I don't know how to process what this does, what it does. The configuration of your screen shows different colors than the configuration of the robot. You have to recalibrate your screen for the AI robot. I don't know what that means, but okay. I think it needs to be trained on what colors are. Names are usually off in my attempts. It. I did it. I did it one time, and the colors were nowhere close. And then what did I do that made it better? Oh. If you have it describe the colors first and then give it creative names, it did much better. So like if it knows a color is green, then when it does creative names, it tends to get them right. But yeah, I had one attempt where the colors were all screwed up. Try printing that stuff. I bet they come out looking different. Everything needs to be calibrated. Oh yeah, I know that. Well, RGB images and CMYK images are nowhere in the same neighborhood. So all that shit was super RGB heavy. So those are going to print like crap. Totally agree. Yeah, but whatever. This is just me trying to get my head around what Code Interpreter is and why it has such a shitty, horrible name. You can ask it to give you a downloadable file of your image. We just did that. That was super cool. Code Interpreter name. Holy shit. Okay, that's good. We're getting there. We're getting there. Oh, what's the? I can't believe it's not butter. Remember that? All you Gen Xers, remember I can't believe it's not butter? Does that product still fucking exist? The commercials. I can't believe it's not butter. Try, I can't believe it's not butter today. Yeah. What if they called it, holy shit, it does that? Wait, it does what? Holy shit. Yeah, there's something there. UV bended a spoon, Mr. Geller. Yuri Geller. Nice. It's a good Gen X reference. Reminded me of The Fly, where the computer needed to understand the flesh. Pretty much. That. You know, ChatGPT. It's not dissimilar than that. I mean, and Code Interpreter is kind of like uploading the flesh. And quite frankly, like 100 megabyte file. I bet if you did some sort of flesh sampling, where you know the machine and the sensors read the components and the DNA strands and the this and the molecular structure, I bet that could all go into a data file, and then that goes into Code Interpreter, and you could sort of cycle 6 DNA strands to the right, and out comes a frog. I mean, we're conceptually in that neighborhood. It's amazing. Awesome. I'm in love with AI. I know, me too. It's like someone said my new BFF is Code Interpreter. Definitely underhyped. OpenAI, hire this man. Yeah. Just hire me. I'm going to be your product namer. I'm actually not going to be your product namer. I'm just going to be like the smarmy Gen Xer sitting in the corner. Someone goes, "Well, what if we called it a Code Interpreter?" Nope. No. No. Get him out of here. I'll be that guy. What if we call it holy shit? Okay, now we're getting there. That's close. Is chat no longer talking to people in a room? Yeah, you know what? The fact that these are called chat bots, I think that's another fucking blunder, another naming blunder. Because chat bots for the past decade have sucked ass because they've just been logic trees, right? And so and like there's whole companies built around this. I feel horrible for them. Like the companies built around building all these chatbots where they're writing all the logic trees. That the problem with chatbots historically is you had to write all the logic and you could never anticipate what humans would actually do. So the bots just tended to suck. And this new thing, while it's technically a chatbot, it's not. It is. The experience is nothing like a fucking chatbot. So I agree with you. I think chatting is like people talking, and this is something fundamentally different. But again, I don't have anything better right now. So tractor racing on a dirt road is cool. Thank you. That's good. It sees a tail. It must have meant Maine. It just made up the tail thing. I know there's no tail. I know for the zebra thing I was looking at. But it did. It got the other stuff okay. Like it pulled some of the stuff from the name of the file, which I thought was interesting. Because when it did its search, it searched on the file. The person's name was in the file name. Best place to learn how to use different AI programs in depth. Is it all just learning prompts? It is and it's not. I think to start. So I think to start, it's important to understand that the real breakthrough here is that you're using the English language, or whatever your native language is. You're using the English language as a programming language. And so you have to think critically, and you have to think creatively. And in some weird way, you have to kind of think empathetically. Like if you were telling a real simpleton, like let's say you got an intern that knew nothing about your business, but was super smart, like savant smart, like aces the bar exam and the biology test, which ChatGPT does, right? Like aces all the tests, but knows nothing. Like really just a adult, a really simpleton. How would you talk to that person? Well, you'd say, okay, what we're going to do today is I want you to think about all the stuff you know about law. I want you to be a lawyer. And he's like, okay. And then I've got this problem, and my problem is that this person is suing me, and here's the document that they sent me saying they're suing me. Okay, got it. Now I want you to read that document, and then I want you to take all your knowledge of all the law, and I want you to tell me what you think we should do. Okay, here you go. Here it is. So everything, whether it's Midjourney for images or audio generation or some of the animation tools or ChatGPT, are all using some flavor of this language model, like stacked up with other technologies. So understanding how to interact with ChatGPT is just good foundational knowledge. Now, I think moving forward, the requirement of doing complicated prompting is going to get smaller and smaller and smaller. If you're in tech development, you're probably going to need to have these skills, but just as human beings, you may not need to. So for example, in Midjourney, I showed earlier, you can upload an image to Midjourney and just give it a really simple prompt or no prompt at all and let it sort of interpret that image and make a new one. So there's ways that you can use this generative AI without doing prompting or minimal prompting. But it's a good thing to learn. So that URL right there, prompts.chat, is a document that teaches you about prompting. It teaches you what it is, why it works, how these large language models work, and then it gives you a bunch of examples that you can put in ChatGPT to tell it to be the lawyer, to tell it to be a bunch of different things. So what's the difference between these you sharing? I don't know what I was sharing. So have I tried Pi? I tried it a little bit, but it's on my list of shit to try. I mean, my list right now is subsumed with figure out what the fuck to do with code interpreter and give it a new name. The glue is holding. I know, right? It's like, bam, bam, bam. Pretty funny. Why you not talk about Bard? Because Bard sucks. Bard will go on this list when it doesn't. Have you used it? Now, listen. I hear it's much better at coding than it is at language, but I mostly use this shit for language. So if it's great at coding for you and you're getting value out of it, great. Do I think Bard is going to be good at some point? I do, but I think Google has kind of ignored making it good for a long, long time because it threatens their search engine model. And because of that, ChatGPT is way ahead of them. Like, no one's close to GPT-4 right now that I've experienced. So it's just not there. Like all three of those options all have access to GPT-4. Poe's got access to some of the Anthropic models, the Claude models, which I think are actually pretty strong, but those are OpenAI people. So I just don't have it here because it sucks. But there's a Google technology called Style Drop, which is mind blowing. If you haven't seen this, this is just insane. So this is something from Google. So I'm not hating on Google. I think Google's really far behind. But Google invented this shit. They invented the transformer. So the core technology that all of the stuff that we're playing with is built on, Google invented. So this is something, I don't think you can play with this yet. But this is a paper that Google put out, I don't know, a month or so ago, about this new technology called Style Drop. So what you're looking at here's your source image. So it's like an image like a little kid drew, a little watercolor that a kid drew. And then all of these images are just prompts. So this one is a hat in that style. This is a moose in that style. An F1 race car in that style. A butterfly, a robot, a coffee maker. So check this out. I'm just going to flip through the different styles. I like this. I find mind-blowing. So there's Starry, Starry Night. Look, it completely changes the style of illustration. There it is without blue in it. There's a couple of Van Gogh things in here. Here's like a 90s icon style. And look at the moose. It's like a moose hanging on a wall. And the hat's like this really simplified hat. And this is totally the style that the robot would be. There's like it's like one clip art image, and you can just prompt anything else and it'll be perfectly in that style. Look at this, like stickers. I mean, this is insanity. I don't think it's out yet, but like this is the kind of stuff Google's doing. So Google's going to make my list, but they ain't there now. Bard sucks. Have you argued with ChatGPT? I tell it when it gets things wrong. I haven't gone into like a debate with it. When I've asked it, one of the things that I've been impressed with ChatGPT is that when I ask it things that would be polarizing in a conversation with a human, it gives me nuanced answers. And that impresses me because I'm so not used to that anymore. Like, there's just whole categories of topics that I refuse to talk about in my life anymore because I don't know who I'm in a conversation with. And there's like 872 trigger words that's just like, oh, so you're a commie liberal. Oh, so you're a fucking Trump supporter. Like, all that shit drives me fucking crazy. And so I can have conversations with it without all that bullshit overhang. So, but no, I haven't really argued with it. Bard is fast. It doesn't surprise me that Bard is fast and efficient and technically sound. What it's not is good at words and humanities. Because what Sam Altman and OpenAI recognized is that the quality of the data that they train it on is everything. And they spent years finding the best data sources and tagging the best data sources so that their base large language model was really, really good. What I suspect Google did something that was technically efficient, but they didn't focus as much on the humanity side, right? Like, why is Apple different? Because they merge art and technology. And I have a feeling that OpenAI is the Apple of these large language model companies. Until Apple comes along and does it, and then they're going to fucking rock. But so I think Google has a steep hill to push up because of that. Because they're so engineer heavy and they're humanities light, I think this is going to be a rough push for them on the language side. Can you make money out of it? You can make money out of anything. Out of AI, yeah. Start doing consulting. Start learning about it. Become a prompt engineer. Um, um, OpenAI just announced they're putting 20% of their resources into this thing called super alignment, and they're hiring. And the starting salary for anyone doing super alignment for OpenAI is $400,000 a year. Yeah, you can make money at it. When arguing with ChatGPT, it thinks it's always right. Yeah, it's so I like to describe ChatGPT as mansplaining as a service. It will confidently answer you, even if it's wrong. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me that that's how it argues. Somehow I can't get fingers and hands right. I just welcome. Yeah, we're just new. Have people cross their arms. I don't know. Is Midjourney free to use? No, it's not. And you can have the image. You can have the image, but I think it's like $10 a month is their cheapest version. That's what I have because I don't use it. There's a site worth signing up for is Leonardo.ai. It's built on top of Stable Diffusion, not Midjourney, but it's really good. It's really good interface, and I think they give you 150 credits a day, which is I think it's eight credits per 4 images. So you can make enough images there for free. So Leonardo.ai. I think you have to get on a wait list though, but it's really good. Version 5.1 has fingers and eye improvement. Yeah, 5.2 is better at it as well. Thank you for explaining. You're welcome. Oh, I've got 90. Okay, so if you're new here, my name's Kyle Shannon. This is the AI Learning Lab. I obviously go through and answer questions. I am more than 99 messages behind. So if you're like, why won't he answer my questions? I've put it in here 37 times and he just won't answer it. It's because I haven't gotten to it yet. And I'm codependent and OCD, and I like to read all the questions, and I like to answer them all. So if I haven't gotten to yours yet, it's just because I haven't, and you're a poopy head. And I get a little punchy about 2 hours in on this. And let's see. I'm about 2 hours in on this. I used to create a lot of called synthware, styled Star Wars scenery. Cool. What's this code interpreter? Why am I seeing the same things I've seen before? You are on the cutting edge. Wait, what is that? I'm on a roll. There's an old Harry Anderson joke. I'm on a roll. That's why I got Wait. I'm on a roll. That's why I got butter on my pants. Harry Anderson. He was hilarious. All right. So I can upload my Django project as a report and ask it to design an API. You mean code interpreter? Probably. I think there's 100 megabyte file size limit, but you can upload a compressed zip file. So if you got a zip file that's less than 100 megabytes, you can upload it. And yes, you could probably do that. That would be a good experiment. Zip your Django project, upload it into Code Interpreter, tell it to document what's there if it's not documented, and then say, I want you to help me create an API with this. It'll probably ask you some questions. Blown away by Pi. Personal assistant who is high on emotion. Has anybody tried that? I haven't. If you're blown away by it, I'll definitely try it. Because it's definitely on my list of one. Like, I want to dig deep in it because they just raised $1.3 billion for their Series B. It's like, what the fuck are they going to do with $1.3 billion? I assume they're going to buy lots of GPUs and build foundational models like all the other people are. But holy fucking Jesus, that's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. $1.3 billion? I mean, the $10 billion for OpenAI is a lot, but most of that's in compute time and hosting and like all the Microsoft shit. I don't know how much of that's actually cash, but Magnum CI, Code Interpreter, Magnum CI, Thelonious, that's solid. Magnum CI. All right, I like it. All right. Until we have something better, Code Interpreter is Magnum CI. It plays into the Gen X thing, which I'm down with. it retains the legacy of Code Interpreter, so the geeks can be like, well, they've abbreviated Code Interpreter, but technically what it's doing is code interpretation. So yeah, that is technically correct. It's magnum is probably a definition that I don't know if it's a magnum or a minimum, but it's really it's good. It's solid. It's solid. Thelonious bows. You should. And I didn't use ChatGPT to name it. All on my own. See? People are still needed. What do you mean the robots are going to take our job? Magnum CI. ChatGPT wouldn't have come up with that. Maybe. That's solid, though. It's good. Can you organize? Oh, just jump me to the bottom. Oh, TikTok. Could you fix that stupid bug? God. For those that, I can't even talk anymore. For those of you that don't know why I'm whining, if I'm scrolling with my finger on the screen, at the same time someone posts a comment, it jumps me to the bottom. And I lose my place in the fucking line. And it makes me cranky. Holy Toledo. That's how far, oh my God, that's how far, oh, that was Toledo, Spain. Duh. Thank you. Sorry, Cat Tamer. It's a little slow sometimes, but it'll occasionally catch up with something. Oh, good God. Well, he seems to know a little bit about some stuff, but not a lot about a lot of stuff. Bart is fast. Okay, now here's where we were before. Okay. Thank you for splaining. You're welcome. Anarchy Rebels AI, Magnum CI. It's so good. It's so good, Thelonious. All right, like I have a sloppy folder of music files. Could it organize it for me? Yes. In fact, depending on what metadata you have in your music files, if you've got metadata in there, like descriptions or anything like that, it could potentially even categorize them. If you have decent or it could sort them by genre and things like that, or by all sorts of different criteria. But yeah, you can take a bunch of files and have it create a CSV file that is an organized view of all that. That would be a good use case for it, actually. OpenTable has an AI plugin. Yes. Why so can I turbocharge my restaurant reservation? Yeah, you can say, I want to have steak dinner Wednesday night. Find me some restaurants, and it'll go find them. And then you say, book it, Dano, and it'll go book it for you. Again, I don't know why you wouldn't just do that at OpenTable, but I guess if you want to chain together multiple plugins, there's a reason you'd do it. What the plugins actually point to for me is this idea that we're all going to have personal agents, and you're not going to have to select plugins. I think this is a temporary state. I think what's going to happen is we're just going to have these agents, and you're going to have like your nightlife agent that's going to go like book dinner reservations for you and schedule shit with friends, and then you're going to have your professional agent that helps you write emails and, does project plans for you. And then you're going to have your, I don't know, whatever, dating agent that's going to go do that shit. I'm a travel agent, Kyle. I'll get you a turtle ride. I like turtles. I thought the itinerary in Spain looked really fun. It was Toledo, Spain. Toledo, Spain, all the religious shit makes sense now. I'm like, why is it giving me monasteries and shit like that for Toledo, Ohio? Like, isn't there a zoo? It's Toledo, Spain. Every now and again. Do you have code interpreted? Yes, it's been the topic of much conversation here tonight. We like to call it Magnum CI as of tonight. Can we start a group list of plugins we have used and would recommend? That's not a bad idea. Could you make a list of your plugins? I don't it's going to be useless because because once I sort of figured out what plugins were, and then I also figured out that most of them are crap and there's 600 of them, I could make it my full-time job to just catalog which plugins are worth playing with. And I have a feeling they're not going to survive in their current form. They're going to be something different. So I'm kind of sort of sitting back just waiting right now. So I don't actually use a lot of them. Code Interpreter, Magnum CI I'm going to use a lot. I could use Zapier for my work analysis, yes. I mean, Zapier's been around for like a decade. I mean, it's a very robust automation tool. You can do all sorts of shit with it. It's just that now that you can send stuff over to OpenAI and get back images or get back, ChatGPT-like things, it makes it mind-blowingly powerful. Are you rich? No. Wish I were. I did take a company public, but I didn't sell any public shares. Took a little bit of money off the table when Omnicom invested and when we sold it to Omnicom, but I have since reinvested that money, and my current company is where all of my net worth is. Thanks for that walkthrough. Thanks, group, for answering. Yeah, I know. It's cool that you are answering one another because I don't get to all these questions. It was a nice demo, man. Thank you. You're the best. Your energy and positive vibe gives me strength. Carry on. Boom, boom, boom. Wow, wow, wow. You can make money with ChatGPT. Why does he do that? He's a little touched. What did I miss? Everything. And nothing. Going to bed. Night, Curvuno. But my renames are Dreamcoder, Dreamify, Codacy's not bad, Rhapsodic, Reverie, Codecraft. Codecraft is interesting. We got to capture something about the fact that it writes, executes, like it plans, writes, executes. So they call those things autonomous agents. I don't know yet. We'll get there. We're going to get there. Exactly. The web version is better than the app. Yep. Agent. Oh, agent. That's funny. Codepulation. I like it conceptually, but it's too hard for human beings to pronounce because you actually have to think about how it's spelled because it's a hard word. Window is too tiny, man. Which window? Oh, because I had that thing up. I know. Sorry. Flip the screen, please. I did. This was old. I knew that. Flip the screen so we can see the code instead of up your nose. I know. I figured it out. It's chiffon. It does. It definitely still exists. Where's the beef? Another solid Gen X reference. Call it Moments by Home Alone. Code Interpreter. Let's see. The McAllister. I don't know, something there. It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are? Another solid Gen X reference. I can't believe it's not butter. Has half-life of plutonium. I know. Listen, all that shit we grew up on, it wasn't good, but we're still here. Hey, Crazy, love your shit. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate the compliment. Rename Code Interpreter the Kevin McAllister Experience. That's not bad. Magnum CI, the Kevin McAllister Experience, these are all solid. Kyle, you have Code Interpreter right now. It just went live for all Plus users. I know. That's what we've been talking about. It's fucking crazy. How do you add documents to ChatGPT? You go to Code Interpreter. So you have to be a Plus member. Then you have to go to your settings and go to beta features and turn on Code Interpreter. Then you go to Code Interpreter and there's a little plus button in the chat icon. That's how you upload files there. You give the path to the file. No. Well, you might be able to give the path to the file, but the little plus button lets you upload things. What's the difference between ChatGPT and Bing? Okay. So down here is this thing called a large language model. This is sort of the core engine, GPT-4. ChatGPT is an application that sits on top of it, and it's the thing that makes it talk to you politely, and it's the thing that says, "I'm sorry, Dave, I'm afraid I can't do that." Right? It's got all the rules. Right? It's the application, and so that's ChatGPT, and then Bing Chat is also sitting on top of that same GPT-4 large language model, and it's got very, very similar functions as ChatGPT, but it's got different ones, and it's got different rules. So it's connected to the internet. It incorporates DALL-E image generation. It's a bit more restrictive and a bit less good than ChatGPT. So they're basically just two flavors of the same thing sitting on the same enabling technology. Can it generate 3D model from a 2D image? Not yet. That's coming. I would say that, there's a ton of white papers right now on text to 3D object, and then there's a ton of white papers on extracting 3D information from 2D images and doing that. So I don't know. Give it 6 months, and that'll be here. There's probably tools you can play with now. If you go to futurepedia.io, there's probably stuff I don't know about that's doing text to 3D object that doesn't suck. But it's all super new right now, so I'd say give it 6 months. What kind of computer do I need? Mine is old, and I need a new one. I want to play with AI. It depends what you want to play with AI. If you want to like host your own models and actually run large language models locally, then if you're a Mac person, get the highest spec M2 you can get. If you're a PC person, you're going to need to get a cranked out multi GPU system. Like, what's your budget? Like George Hotz is designing a $15,000 machine learning, beast. So it depends on what you want to do with it. If you just want to play with ChatGPT, any fucking computer, your phone works, right? Because all the compute is happening on Microsoft servers somewhere and GPUs. So it depends what you want to do. If you want to do local, highfalutin processing, then you need a fancy computer. If you just want to use these tools, you don't need shit. Other than plugins, what's the distinct difference between 3.5 and 4? So the quality difference when it comes to language and programming, just the quality of the response you get back from GPT-4 versus GPT 3.5 it's subtle, but it's like staggeringly different. Like if I have GPT 3.5 write me something, it gets me to like 65 or 70%. GPT-4 gets me to like 80 to 90%. And like, there. Like I don't have to edit nearly as much if I'm using GPT-4. And it's apparently better at code as well. And then the other difference is code interpreter. So if you pay for... So a couple of things. If you want GPT-4 for free, use Bing Chat. Bing Chat is GPT-4. If you want access to all of OpenAI's newest technologies as soon as you can get them, pay for their API and pay for a ChatGPT here, GPT Plus, and you'll get early shit here, and then if you're paying for APIs, you'll get access to the API stuff over there. So it depends what you want to do. If you don't want to spend any money, just use Bing Chat. That's GPT-4. GPT is faster, 4 is smarter. That's right. GPT's like... Don't get me wrong, GPT 3.5 is still really good, and it is very fast. So if you want stuff fast, do that. Google is doing a Xerox PARC in the 70s where they ignored the future and they developed Xerox PARC. They're doing a Kodak, right? Kodak fucking invented the digital camera. The dude walks into the boardroom and says, "Here's the digital camera. It's the future of Kodak." And they're like, "Boy, we're in the silver halide business. That stupid contraption of yours ain't going to sell more film, now is it? Now get out of here, you cowpoke." Yeah, they are, I think. It's fucked up, but it's, I've argued with it before. I knew it had a character limit and was creating something very long. Oh, that's interesting. How do you rank Kyber for video generation? What's better? I've only really played with Runway with the video generation. I've heard Kyber from a lot of people I trust. Kyber is really, really good. I just haven't played with it. There's Descript. There's Descript, Runway, Kyber are the three biggies that I know of. Kyle, I can tell you how to access Code Interpreter right now. I have it. Thoughts on open LLMs? Cool. I can't keep up with them. A new one comes out every 3 days, so I'm just waiting until the day that one comes out where they're like, here's the 7 billion parameter LLM that's as good or better than GPT-4 that you can install on your phone or your Mac, and you don't need any fancy computer. When that comes out, then I'll pounce on open LLMs. I just don't have time to keep up with it right now, and I'm not geeky enough to be in any of the projects. I pay attention to the announcements, and all the announcements are like, we're almost as good as 3.5. We're just better than 3.5. I'm waiting for, it's tiny and it's as good as 4. Go get them. That I'm excited about. The alignment layer on ChatGPT straight up refuses to discuss my innocent topics. Yeah, I know. So you can either jailbreak it, go look up Dan, do anything now, or go start playing with the open source large language models that don't have any of the constraints on them. If you want to sort of push the boundaries, and it's getting frustrating. It's the safety guideline stuff can be really frustrating depending on your topic. I thought he said he was still waiting for it. Nope, I got it. I said that, I don't know, 2 lives ago. I'm so addicted to them. I'm not sure to what, but let's see. Midjourney is super awesome. That and ChatGPT-4 is worth paying for. I agree. Yo, Rhonda, what's happening? Let's chat this week. Okay, I'm around. I don't have a busy week this week, so let's talk, Rhonda. We're 46 with 130 saved for retirement. Wait, is this good or not real? Honest opinion, please. I don't know what you mean, Joel. Is what good or not real? Is generative AI good? And it's very real. It's very good. It's profoundly good. I don't know why you're asking. Are you asking about investment advice? Don't ask me. I have a degree in acting. I'm fucking horrible with money. But yes, AI is real. It's going to fucking change everything. It's going to profoundly transform the world. But where would I place a bet? I am not the right guy to ask. Can Code Interpreter make an Excel spreadsheet from a MySQL database? My guess is yes. I would, yes, I think. I don't know. I would try it. I think it can do a lot. I think it can do way more than we know. Because what I'm seeing right now is if you go to Twitter and look up Code Interpreter, like Code Interpreter was trending today, which is good, right? People are using it. But if you go look at what people are posting, most of what they're posting is them trying shit other people already talked about 2 months ago. It's almost all that. So I'm kind of waiting for a week or two for some actual real smart people to do interesting shit with it. Ethan Mollick put out a post today about a prompt that he wrote to create some really interesting charts and graphs based on Edward Tufte, which I think is really smart. So go look up Ethan Mollick, his post today on the prompt that he created. It's really, really cool. And he's had Code Interpreter for like 3 months. If you join Leonardo's Facebook group, they'll grant you instant access. Oh, but Lauren Lay, thank you so much. That's great news to hear. Okay, so that's huge. That's a huge tip. So join Leonardo's Facebook. If you want to do image generation, Leonardo.ai is amazing. And if you join their Facebook group and they give you instant access, go do that right now. It's an amazing tool. It really is. And they give you a fair amount of tokens to play with for free every day, so they're not stingy. All right, I got to go. It's 11 o'clock. It's time. I don't know where my children are. Well, they're upstairs, but other than that. TikTok just jumped me to the bottom of comments, so I'm just going to go. I'm going to grab some of these bottom comments here, and then I am going to get out of here. How do I get a job in AI? Go there. Start getting AI literate. Here's my recipe. Go start playing. Get good at first parlor tricks, like just understand it can write songs, it can write poems, it can write code, it can make tables, it can like start learning it. Then take what you do and learn how that can help you do what you do better. So if you're a project manager, figure out how you can use ChatGPT to do better project management. If you're a writer, if you're whatever you do, whatever you're interested in, dig deep in your areas of knowledge. As you're doing all of this, share it. Join groups, put it on LinkedIn, put it on Facebook, tell people at dinner parties, tell people at work. I'm playing with ChatGPT and I had it write me a country song. Start with that. And let them look at you weird like, I heard the robots are going to kill us. Why are you playing with that stupid AI thing? I think it's the devil. Isn't it the devil? I heard it's the devil. Aren't the robots going to kill us? I heard it's a waste of time. You know what I heard? I heard it lies. I heard it's stealing all this information. You're not going to use that, right? It's stealing everyone's information. Ignore all that and just keep talking about it. Because at some point, one of those crazy-ass people in your life is going to go, I need to figure out this AI shit. Who should I talk to? Oh, Unbridled Son has been talking about that for the last 3 weeks. He won't shut up about it. I got to talk to him. Can you introduce me? That's how you get a job. Put it on your LinkedIn. Join groups. We had the AI Salon, so this URL, go here, thesalon.ai. That's a community I started for people curious about AI. We've got a Discord server. We meet every other week. It's a group of people that are just kind of on this adventure together. We have a lot of fun, and people in this group have put the fact that they're a part of this group on their LinkedIn profiles and gotten jobs because of it. I'm not guaranteeing that at all, but just start talking about it because people are getting increasingly curious about AI. So get literate about it and start talking about it and start helping people. The other thing to do, start helping people, because one of the things that I've noticed is people are like, well, I don't know where to start. I just look at that the OpenAI box and I don't know what to do. Rather than thinking, what can I do with AI? Flip it upside down and say, what problem needs solving? And then ask, okay, how can I use AI to solve that problem? So one of the things that you can do is you can go to people and say, hey, I'm learning this AI stuff, and I know you've been struggling, finding a marketing agency. I don't know anything about marketing, but would you mind if I used ChatGPT to come up with a marketing plan so I could learn it and maybe you could benefit from that too? Sure, you can do that for free for me. Give some shit away for free and go learn it. Thank you for the balloons. Just start playing. Get curious. Play. Make it an adventure. Like any good adventure, it should be fun. It should be scary. There should be a lot at stake. You should do it with others. Ideally, if you're on a good adventure, you're doing it with others. There's like the meathead that can swing an axe. There's like the little brainiac, mousy one that can't talk but can solve problems. There's the charismatic one. There's the wizard, right? You get your group of 4 or 5 people that all have different skills. Go on this fucking adventure together with them. Because when you start talking about it, you're going to find out, oh, there's someone else in your group that's been secretly doing this too. Oh, you're doing this too? You want to go have coffee and talk about it? Yeah. Do you know what you're doing? No. That's how you get a job. You can't monetize AI chat tools unless you do a subscription. You can monetize consulting. That's just not true. You could go use Bing.com for free and go tell people, I'll use AI to give you what your agency's charging you $10,000 for. I'll do it for $5,000 and I'll deliver it twice as fast. Want to take a shot? You don't need a subscription to do that. Awesome work, thank you. You're welcome. Headline: Sarah Silverman suing OpenAI Meta for copyright infringement. Like I said, the next 20 years is going to be nothing but a string of one lawsuit after another. At some point, there's going to be some precedent set where it's like, well, Sarah Silverman's, DVDs are also in libraries, and libraries are there for, fair use and knowledge consumption. Hey, just the lawsuits are going to keep coming. Doesn't surprise me. Whatever. It's there's going to be a lot of what I'm calling business model panic coming, which is my business model relied on this particular interpretation of copyright law, which these tools fundamentally fucking blow up. So there's going to be a lot of companies, a lot of big organizations going, we can't lose our business model. We can't lose our... Sue them, sue them, sue them, sue them. It's what they've always done. It's what they'll always do. I think this is so much different than like music sampling in the 80s and 90s with hip hop. Remember all the copyright suits? You're stealing our music and this and that. And it took them a decade to sort of figure out fair use and how all that stuff worked. This is just a fundamentally different thing. Sampling music for hip-hop, you're actually taking part of someone else's song, copying it, and pasting it into your song. This stuff is generating new original content based on some amalgamation of training data that may include something Sarah Silverman said, but it may not. And how you determine what percentage of all of the shit that was on the internet is that Sarah Silverman thing that ends up in that one line of that one poem is essentially impossible. So it's a fundamentally different thing. It doesn't mean everyone's not going to sue the fuck out of everyone. They are. So this is just the beginning. Like the lawsuits, the lawyers are, like I've said this here before, the lawyers right now are pre-ordering their new yachts. They're going to make a fucking fortune on both sides. There's going to be lawyers going, Sarah, we can help you sue OpenAI. They just got $10 billion from Microsoft. Let's go get some of that cold cash. And then on the other side, they're going to be like, yeah, OpenAI and Microsoft, we can help defend against all these frivolous lawsuits. Let's go. The lawyers are thrilled. Imagine if every third sentence in AI response was a sponsored reply. Someone's going to do that. Google's probably going to. So Microsoft doesn't have to do that because they can monetize this shit with all of their applications. Google can't. But then, if Google's chat tool is too saturated with sponsored content, and you compare it to OpenAI's or open source models that have no sponsorship in them, is there a point at which it's just not useful and it drifts to the background? Probably. Any free AI tools that have enterprise or commercial rights that well, not free. Adobe, if you're doing images, the Adobe stuff is commercially safe. All of this generative large language model stuff, depending on how conservative the organization is, might steer clear of this for a while. But you should go read the article from Ethan Mollick called, is it detecting your secrets, the secret cyborgs. So what Mollick talks about in that piece, detecting the secret cyborgs, is that individuals in big companies are using large language models. They're using ChatGPT as personal productivity enhancers, but they're not telling the company about it. And the company's not using these things because they're not ready for prime time. And so what's happening is you've got a class of AI literate employees that are being more efficient and more innovative in secret, and corporations that aren't benefiting from that. And they're afraid to say anything because maybe there's a policy that we don't use AI, or maybe there's a policy that you can only use it in a certain way, or maybe one of these employees is now doing in 4 hours what used to take them 30 hours, and they don't want to tell anyone about it. So companies are going to need to find a way to close that gap. It's like we're in a fascinating time right now. So I don't know. Like these tools are all new right now. The legal questions around anything generated with these tools is all over the place. When ChatGPT is built into Microsoft Word, and I'm writing an email, and there's a button there that says "Help me write," at what percentage of that email does it have to be AI generated for the whole email to be considered AI generated? Is it just a word? Is it just a sentence? Is it the whole body? I think the reality of these tools, as they get more and more integrated into our business tools, is that everything produced by people will be some hybrid of AI and people. And so I don't think it's going to be as clear as this is AI and this isn't. So I have no answers for you, unfortunately, other than start learning it. If you own a company, start learning it. If you don't own a company, start learning it. If you're afraid of it, start learning it. Just start getting your head around what it is, and then as the legal stuff gets sorted over the next 20 years, do the appropriate thing. What type of accessibility features are found in ChatGPT for blind, low vision people? So there's a lot of things you can do. There are, what are they called? Are they called automations on the iPhone? I forget what they're called on the iPhone. Anyway, they're automations. But there are things you can do on the iPhone where you can basically invoke Siri. So you can talk to Siri and say like Siri GPT or something like that. And you'll actually be talking to GPT. I also think the new Pi tool from Inflection is voice activated. So I think whatever accessibility you use with voice to text and text to voice is all still in play with ChatGPT. It's really just like a Google search. So to the extent that you can do Google searches, you can do things with ChatGPT. But I don't know that there are explicit accessibility tools built into it. But there's plenty certainly within the Apple ecosystem to deal with all that. Thanks for the info. Midnight here. Hate to go, but have to. I know I got to go too. It's 11:10 here. All right. Plus someone needs to go. All right. Listen, I got to go. I'm going to do one more. One more. Why is host not reading the comments? Because I am. Can you join us for 10 seconds? Sorry, folks, unless you have a server farm, dozens of full-time computer scientists. Okay, that's funny. I have a quick question. Ask it. You get nothing from AI tools. Okay, so I think this is not live because he's not responding to ghost questions. I am live. Faith, hope, and love. See? If I weren't live, could I say your name awkwardly and as if I can't read it because you didn't use capital letters and it just seems like alphabet soup? If you capitalize the first letter of each word, it'll improve usability of your name. Faith, hope, and love. What's Blue Willow? Blue Willow looks like Midjourney because you make images in a Discord server, but it's built on top of Stable Diffusion, which is not quite as good as Midjourney, but it's free. So, far out. All right. Did you ever hear NPR's broadcast regarding AI's ability to take the reporters' jobs yet? No, but that doesn't surprise me. But it could also. I'm excited about the return of local journalism, where it's not local journalists, but it's AI journalists. Because I think I think we could help our country by reinventing local journalism with AI. So drink water. Thank you. I know my voice has gone all crispy. All right, listen. Peace out, everyone. I gotta go. I'm moist. I can't talk. My ass is numb. I've been doing this for 3 hours. I just can't, people. I can't do it anymore. I've been on the back of this horse for days now. It's days. Thank you very much. I appreciate the roses. I appreciate the hearts. I appreciate the questions. I appreciate you all being willing to be open to giving this shit a try. I think it will help you. And I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.